My name is Balan, and although your host may look like a schmexy stud on stage, I can be an absolute clusterfuck day to day. Like the last time I went to Chipotle. Normally, we all know Chipotle is organized chaos that gets you in and out decently fast with minimal satisfaction, much like a Catholic wedding night. This one is not like the others though, so allow me to introduce what I call the Buttfuck Michigan location.
Yeah!
Buttfuck Chipotle is always loud and busy, especially the kitchen behind the counter, which is just fucking chaos. Like my mask, apparently. So I get to the front of the line, and it's the usual, what do you want? I try to give the worker my order. Obviously, she can't hear me over what can only be the cries of a newly extincted animal in the kitchen as it gets added to the, it's beef, probably, value meal. Okay, Josh, that means you gotta use your big boy voice now. Have I mentioned that I'm a very quiet person? Meaning my big boy voice is a lot more like ASMR, really quiet, and people jerk off to it. I wish I was kidding. I'm able to get to the next station eventually. You know what that means? Not just a new worker who still can't fucking hear me, but also they started helping the next customer in line behind me, which would normally be fine. Normally. But nothing can ever be fine in Buttfuck, Michigan. This time, it's this old lady who obviously has no concept of personal space. As she inches closer, I figure it must be the ASMR voice drawing her in. Regardless, my brain's on red alert. Even worse, buttfuck doesn't require mask wearing, so I get blasted by this lady's breath, which smells like the bacteria-infested meat that famously caused this same chain a salmonella outbreak. You know what all this means? We're on the fucking clock, folks. So I continue to struggle to translate my order, and it looks like our burritos are doing like a really sad, slow police chase across the counter. All the while the dying screams continue to burst from the kitchen. Fortunately, this lady doesn't have the best hearing aids in, so at least I have a little bit more time. At this point, though, I can't help but notice the state of my poor burrito. Already, we're suffering from what I like to call subway lettuce syndrome, where because we diabetic Americans can't fathom actually eating healthy, build-your-own meal places just put a fuck ton of lettuce on everything to make us feel better. Even worse, though, I ordered barbacoa, which is kept in a liquid, which they did not drain. So all I can do is watch as they try to finish wrapping my soggy-ass burrito. But the avalanche of lettuce inside is no match for the sopping, demoralized tortilla as it explodes into a pool of beef juice and broken dreams. Normally, they just add a tortilla and rewrap it in a last futile attempt to hold the thing together, much like a marriage therapist. Not in buttfuck, where we just go fuck it and raw dog it with the tinfoil. So I pay, and with the old lady practically up my ass at this point, like the retirement home she lives in accidentally mixed Viagra in with her daily pills this morning, I just helplessly watch as the flimsy paper bag gets wetter and wetter. The aluminum holding the mess that used to be my lunch gives way to the wash of unrestrained burrito juice to soak the paper bag as the cashier gives me a buy one Panda Meat taco, get one free card. I'm on my not-so-merry way after unsheathing the old lady from my ass, and I rush back home to see the carnage. When I arrive and I unwrap the mess, my dad looks on from his fucking dry burrito high horse and asks what the fuck it's supposed to be. The only way I can respond is to break down in tears, as yet another dream is shattered by buttfuck Chipotle. You see how stressful my life can be? Not in like, my life is so hard. Like, no. Like, this shit is extra credit. So, to conclude, if you don't hear from me again, it's because I'm dead. Probably because that lady gave me one of her many diseases. But while I'm still alive, let me introduce our next comic, Vaishahk.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Vaishahk. I hate it when people ask me to tie my shoelaces. Like, how do you know this is not just my style, dude? I roll like this, or rather walk around awkwardly, like this. Speaking of shoes, I've been trying to go to the gym recently. My favorite machine at the gym, the water cooler. I'm at the water cooler so long, people start asking me how many sets I have left. I'm at the water cooler, somebody comes up next to me, I'm like, whoa. Let me wipe that down first, bro. I don't want you getting sick. Alright guys, comedy can really bring us together. So I wrote down I transcribed some diary entries from young people around the world. And I'm going to read them to you. Yeah. Cool. All right. This first one's from a poor boy from Afghanistan. Never mind, I think he's illiterate. All right, this one's domestic and in English. Dear Diary, I pissed the bed again today. It's the 8th time this week. In parentheses, I take afternoon naps. I've got to see a doctor about this. I'm 23 years old and haven't gone a week without pissing the bed. At least it looks like I'm hydrated. I woke up to Michael mooning me again. I'm beginning to think it's not a joke anymore. Yeah. Anyway, I went up to the house today to see the pledges. We made them butt chug a Capri Sun and then fuck a dead horse. Ha ha. I'm just kidding. We didn't have any Capri Sun. Hydrate or dihydrate. Yeah, and to wrap it off, here's one from myself, back when I was in middle school. Oh. Hi, diary. I went to school today, and my mom made me wear pants. I think I meant like as opposed to shorts. I don't think I was an exhibitionist in middle school. But, Susan sat next to me in class and tagged me a little harder than usual. I think we're getting married next week. I already hate everything. See you tomorrow. Lie. I don't think I've written this in like 10 years. Anyway, yeah, that's all from me, guys. Here's an impression of my dad.
So like many boomer fathers, I love corporations. But like many Gen Z, like I want people to be themselves. And I have a theory that a lot of like big businesses in the US might be in the closet, but they're trying to come out. Just hang with me, I'll explain. I think they're trying to break out just like through their names. Like we have companies like Five Guys, companies like Johnson & Johnson. Are these coincidences? I don't know. Like there's like Procter & Gamble, right? Like Fortune 500 company. If that's not an innuendo for a sketchy grinder hookup, honestly, I don't know. Procter & Gamble, I don't know. Like there's like arcade like chain Dave & Buster. Like they say they're roommates, but honestly, I don't know. We also have companies like Jimmy John's. I was in a Jimmy John's the other day, looking at the menu. And these are real, by the way. Sub number 1, Big John. Sub number 2, Turkey Tom. And my favorite, number 17, the ultimate porker. This is real. Like, are Jimmy and John giving each other different types of salami in the bags? There's not. I don't know. I just hope they can figure it out. Speaking of political conservatism, can everyone give a round of applause to Mitch Daniels? What? No! You don't mean that. Come on now. Listen here. Mitch has said some pretty fucked up stuff recently, right? Everyone, yes? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So to try and get back at Mitch, I've been joining random tour groups, just asking some out-of-pocket questions. These questions include, is Misogyny 101 a prereq for FYE? Or is that like after you're in the program? The other one is, this is a new one. I like to ask the tour guide, where are all the men? No,
where are they?
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, I asked, where are all the men? What a stupid fucking question. What a stupid fucking thing for the president of our university to say. And I was just thinking about the absurdity of a man who looks like a wax figurine that's been left out in the sun to lead our college. Like, Mitch looks like he's been, like, photoshopped to be smaller in every picture. Like, for those who haven't seen, I've brought some, I have a slideshow for you. One more, please. This is actually part of the bit. So those pictures are real. For a little bit of context, standing next to him is George Bush. George Bush is 6 foot. He comes comes up to George Bush's shoulder. I'm 6'3". Mitch would have to get up on his tippy toes to suckle. Come on now. All right, next. All right, so to just highlight the absurdity of this man leading our college, I've created a few games. The first one is pretty self-explanatory. Cooper?
Yeah.
Anyone see it?
No. That one doesn't have a Purdue button.
Oh, you're right, yeah. So the eagle-eyed among you might realize that the picture on the left is actually an albino squirrel, not the president of our college. Shocking resemblance. And the next one is, it's like a spot which one's Photoshop. So, for those who think it's the one on the left, can I get some applause? Anyone?
Woo! Yeah.
Picture on the right, who thinks that one's Photoshopped? You guys got it. You can tell the one on the left's Photoshopped because Mitch has never been that happy to see a female graduate. So I'm just asking here at Purdue, as you're doing your next semester, Cooper, next slide, please. Oh, shit. In conclusion, as you're doing your next semester here at Purdue, I just want you to think, while we're giving Mitch the platform, he might want to use it in his kitchen to reach the high shelves. Next time someone asks you, where are all the men? A, tell them to shut the fuck up. And B, tell them it's PSUCC. That's my job.
So, show of hands. Do I look like the type of guy to get stalked by a furry?
Yes, Daddy.
We'll come back to that later. I think I was marked with some type of pheromone or something. Here's why. Since the rising summer of my sophomore year of high school, I've been working with my friend and his dad to build a house in the Florida Keys. For those of you who don't know, the Florida Keys is a place full of Jimmy Buffetts and beach bums. If they had money, like my friend's dad. Picture this. A heavy-set, 6'3" dude in his late 50s with salt and pepper hair and in a ponytail. Got the picture? Great. Now picture him naked. Stop. I know what you're thinking. I did not have sexual relations with this man. I don't want to be in the will that badly. This all started because of his unbelievably poor time management skills, where we had dinner reservations in 15 minutes, and we started to get 4 people showered and dressed. Fun fact about the time, at that point, the only working bathroom was the master bathroom, which featured no door, glass shower bowls, and 2 shower heads. I assume you all know where this is going, and let me tell you, I have never examined a tile that closely before. It's like walking up the stairs behind a girl. You know, just like, oh yes, these stairs are made out of stairs, you know. Shit was scary. Anyway, flash forward, no pun intended, to BGR. The furry in question was in my group. How did I know she was a furry? I felt the disturbance in the force. She seemed drawn to me before I really even introduced myself. Probably the pheromones. But yeah, the first couple of days of BGR were all icebreakers, and let me tell you, this girl's personality was a dog. And that was red flag, or in this case, red fire hydrant, number 1. Sorry. The second day came around, and she was stuck to my hip like a puppy dog. Oh shit, that was a poor choice of words. At the end of the day, my TLs thought it'd be a great idea to make a group chat on Snap with everybody in our group. Humans and furries alike. Guess who added me?
Yeah.
My next mistake? I accepted. The next day was one of those days with an insurmountable amount of free time. You know, so my TL innocently asked, "Who wants to go home?" Me, being the antisocial fuck that I am, was the only one to raise my hand. On the walk home, I felt another disturbance in the force. To try and get away from her, I sped up. When I sped up, she sped up. When I sped up again, she sped up again. And to the point where we both had full sprint. So I guess she's a fucking greyhound. When I got back to my dorm was when real hell began, as I'll say. Because she started to text me on 5 to 10 minute intervals without fail. Early that week, she had told the group that she was leaving early on Friday to go home and see her dog. Go figure. Which meant she had even more free time to message me. This persisted for, I think, a day or two, until one fateful night, 1:30 a.m., an image. I don't know what the hell possessed me, but I finally opened that image at 3:15. Let me tell you, to that day, that remains my sleep paralysis demon. It was a nude photo of her with an ass in the front and the back, spooning her dog, which I was surprised did not suffocate. It was only at that point that I really decided to block her. Why didn't I block her before then? Excellent question. Shut up. To this day, I haven't seen her, which means my weekly rituals of human sacrifice and substitution for a restraining order seem to be working. I'm Caden Serrato. Y'all have been great. If anybody wants to volunteer for next week's ritual, I'd be more than happy to shoot me a text. Have a good night, everybody.
Hello, I never know how to greet you guys, but hi. Hi. Yeah, I like Subway better than Jimmy John's, because I like that I get to tell them what to do. I was just thinking about that. But yeah, I'm a local, I guess, raised in Lafayette, that's what that means. And whenever you tell somebody that, like, hey, where are you from? They're like, oh, I'm local. The reaction's always the same, like, oh, hey, that's cool, that's cool. Is it cool? Is it cool to just stay somewhere, not go anywhere? Is that cool? Yeah, anyway, whatever. Purdue IU game was pretty controversial. You guys see the Purdue IU game? Basketball?
Kill myself.
All right. All right. Yeah, it's crazy. That day that game happened, I was leaving a class late. I was walking through the new union, underground union. Very nice, by the way. And it's crazy. Everybody had stopped where they're going. Everybody stopped. Everybody was looking at the TV. I was like, oh my God. 9/11 happened again. But it turns out it was a basketball game. A little disappointed, but it's so crazy. There's so many people who love college sports so much. They love sports so much that I think they would rather have 9/11 they would rather have 9/11-2 than Purdue lose to IU. I don't know. You know, these rivalries they're a little silly. I mean, like, how crazy people get into chanting, IU sucks, IU sucks, IU sucks. I didn't mean to activate your lizard brain, but yeah, and then we lose. What does that make us? All right, my bad. All right, my bad. No, I can't, like, okay, it's silly. I make fun of the sports people, but, like, I'm the same exact way for something way lamer. Like, I'm that way with, like, comic books. Like, I get that way, like, go to a comic book shop. Yeah, all right. That's just a fact. But yeah, if you watch the game, there was a guy who did the last 3-point shot that basically essentially won the game. His name's Robert Finney on IU. Yeah, he's local too. Well, not really. He's in Bloomington, but we went to high school together. We're in the same grade. We also went to middle school together. So I know him really well, and he knows me not at all. But like I said, we went to middle school together. We tried out for basketball at the same time. I'm just saying, that could have been me. That could have been me. But yeah, I remember in high school, literally in high school, every single week it was on the announcements. Oh, Robert fucking did something in basketball. Every week on announcements is something, how good he was in basketball. And I was in the lunch line behind him one day. And I was like, hey Rob, you still play basketball? He said, yeah. Yeah. You still got that picture of Batman in your locker? Yeah, all right, yeah, I do. Shut the fuck up, Rob. But yeah, all right, that's, I think that's all I got. All right, thanks, guys.
Hey everybody, how's it going? There's a picture of Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee after they signed the treaty that ended the Civil War. That is a wild concept, to take a group photo at that moment. Imagine this, right? Like, you lose half your men to bullets and diarrhea for 4 years, and at the end of it, someone's just like, all right, everybody, squeeze in. That's insane. Let's do a silly one. Hold 20 years for like 10 minutes, while the photo develops. The whole time you're thinking, I'm gonna miss slavery. You know? I don't know why you have to take a picture, like what looks to be like a family picture at that moment. You signed the treaty at Six Flags? What's going on? My roommate keeps having sex with fat girls, and it's getting old. Usually it wouldn't matter to me because I am not conscious of my surroundings at all. I am out of tune, like a Midwestern opiate addict, just standing in the parking lot like. But his bed frame is right up against our shared wall. So every night I hear what can only be described as the townsfolk pushing the beached whale back into the ocean. I'm serious. Every night in the other room is just, everybody push! Yes, even the kids, come on! He's gonna die! Now I know what a good 30% of you are thinking. That is very insensitive to talk about someone like that. I mean, how fat are these girls? I'll tell you, right? They walk around in the apartment, right? When they walk, when they take a step on the ground, right? Have you ever heard of bass-boosted music? There you go. Every step is menacing. They're like the final boss in an arcade video game. Like, Bowser, what are you doing? I'm here to swallow your roommate's cum. That's what And I'm not saying that obese women don't deserve love. Everyone does, right? But did my roommate have to be the guy to step up to the challenge and be the Mother Teresa of all BBWs? And do I have to be present for that act of charity? That's like if someone else opened an orphanage in your car. Just have to explain to the state trooper why there's 3 sad kids in your trunk. Like, no one likes them, so I take care of them. I had to go to the doctor's office recently, and for some reason, I think it's because of COVID, I had to call into the office to tell them that I was here. So this white lady, I'm assuming is the receptionist, she picks up and asks, who are you? And I'm like, my name's JT Singh, I'm here to acquire medical debt. And they're just like, all right, JT Singh, where are you from? And I was like, are you a white lady? Did I just accidentally roll up to a trap house? What the hell is this? Like a gangbanger with an AK-47 and a teardrop tattoo answers the door, and I'm just like, Dr. Chen's office? All right, that's all I have. You guys are great. Thank you.
Are we doing tonight? We doing good? Yeah? Yeah. I really like this jacket. I decided to cosplay as that guy. The race thing kind of gets in the way, but it's alright, we'll work on it. So, I grew up Catholic, and that meant that I often had to go to church with my parents. And if you go into church,
there's this gigantic, humongous cross of Jesus being crucified. And it's supposed to be like really sad and horrific, but like 6-year-old me was like, oh my God, how did Jesus get a 6-pack? What the fuck? He's in great shape. What is this guy eating? And like at the time, I couldn't put together that like he was suffering because like 6-year-old me saw a Calvin Klein model being crucified, not Jesus suffering. But no, it was fun because as a Catholic, that also meant I had to go to Catholic school, which meant a lot of white people, and that wasn't a problem until it kind of became one because I just felt like a little bit isolated since my culture was very different from everyone else. And the best way I can describe it was kind of being an animal at the zoo, which sounds worse than it is, but let me explain further. You know how when you go to the zoo and your parents like freak over the little stuff like animals do? You know, they'll be like, oh my God, kids, look, that monkey is taking a shit right now. Oh my God, he paid $50 to see this. No, but in my case, it was like, guys, look, that guy, he's using chopsticks. What the fuck? How is he doing that? Someone get a picture of that. So, yeah, it was a little bit traumatizing. And, you know, I made a little bit of mistakes in my life, you know. I got into fights with some friends. I've gotten into fights with my mom. I majored in psychology here at Purdue. Not the best choices, and I actually like psychology, you know, I think it's a good major, but I don't know how I became this unpaid counselor for all these depressed engineering students. Like, how the fuck did that happen, you know, like, I just feel like everyone's like overestimating my abilities because like, everyone thinks like I'm Spencer Reed from Criminal Minds, when in reality, like I'm just a Walmart version of Dr. Phil, so like, I don't think your priorities are placed, you know, in the right places, but it's okay because I like helping people, and I kind of created this like tier list for like engineers on like the help scale, because like if you're an industrial engineer, like yeah, your problems are like bad, but like hey, I can help you, you know, we can get through this together. But like computer science engineers, like I don't know how to help you, man. It just doesn't seem like you're gonna have a good time. Like you need to consult a professional, all right? Like not me. I'm not qualified to help you, okay? But it's been good because I've been able to meet a lot of great people in my psychology major. There's this one friend in particular that I met, and I really like her. She's a great person. I do have to question the shit that she does sometimes, and there's this one time we were doing a project together, and we had to figure out a way we could get a person off of drugs using positive reinforcement. Now, for those of you who don't know what positive reinforcement is, it's basically rewarding behavior so it persists. So me and my friend, we're like trying to come up with ways on how we can get this person off of drugs. And she literally, no shit, she looks at me and she's like, why don't we give her a piece of candy every time she doesn't take drugs? And I was like, wow, did we just solve drug abuse? Like, this is great. Because, okay, let's run through the scenario. If I'm a meth addict, and I have a choice between meth and Kit Kat, like, what the fuck do you think I'm gonna choose? That doesn't seem like a hard choice. All right, and to take it a step further, let's say Jared from Subway had to choose between kidnapping and eating Snickers. Like, what do you think he's gonna do? And how do you think that situation is gonna play out anyways? Like, let me just show you how it might. And I'm gonna pretend to be Jared for a second. Jared, he's like running, he's like got a Subway sandwich in one hand, he's got a girl, and then the other, my friend, he's like, Jared, stop. Jared turns around and he's like, what? My friend is like, don't kidnap that girl. And Jared's like, why not? And my friend is like, because I got a Snickers. And then my friend is like, and then Jared is like, interesting proposition. Let me think it over. My friend is like, by the way, you look great with all that weight you've lost. Like, I gotta say that. And Jared's like, thanks, man. So it's not the best situation, okay? Like, I'm almost out of time, and I just want to say that, you know, I hope more people join the club. I know some people are afraid of bombing, but I just want to say that if you're afraid of bombing, you're going to be a lot better off than most Asian kids when they bomb their violin or piano recital. So, like, I don't think you have much to lose here. So, that's all I got. Thank you so much.
El Presidente Cooper Kim.
Alright, what's up, guys? Alright, he was just talking about drugs, so I guess I'll kind of go off of that. I was, winter break, I was talking to my mom, and I don't know how this conversation kind of started, but we started talking back and forth. My mom said this, she said, never give money to a homeless person because they're gonna use that money to buy drugs. Like, yeah. It's like, what do you think, they're gonna buy a house? Like, if they're like browsing Zillow, like, yeah, with all these quarters and ones, I can really do something. Like, obviously they're doing drugs, like, come on, I know that. You want someone to live in a cardboard box and just twiddle their thumbs and be like, wow, this sucks. Like, come on. You're gonna do drugs, right? I don't think there's anything bad about that. You guys ever done drugs? Yeah. I don't even mean weed. Like, if you done Advil, like, that shit's amazing. Yeah, do drugs, man. Come on. I was talking to my friend. He was like, you know, this is kind of a tangent, but he's like, this semester and this year, you know, I want to take any money that I would use to buy drugs, and I'm going to take that money and I'm going to invest it instead. And he was like, in like 10 years time, I'll double that money. Which I thought was kind of stupid because, first of all, the ice caps are melting, right? So, I mean, when are you going to double your money? What's that going to be useful in Atlantis, you know? Like, we're going to use the seashells. Mermaids don't take EBT. I don't know. Second of all, I asked him, what are you going to do when you double your money? And he was like, probably buy more drugs. I'll just buy the drugs now then. Amazon Prime, what are you doing? I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't give homeless people money. Give them drugs. Let the middleman out. We can do it. Recently saw in news they made the first Starbucks union. You guys see that?
Yep.
Really exciting stuff.
Union.
Yeah. I'm a little worried though when they go to war to the Starbucks Confederacy. Right? History's bound to repeat itself, right? The Starbucks union, right? They want to pay their workers more and work less hours. The Starbucks Confederacy. Well, they have slaves, I guess, so that's probably not good. It's just baristas on the battlefield, like, Starbucks rights. That's bad. Obviously, a Starbucks with slaves would not be good, right? I mean, that would be awkward, too. Hey, can I get a whipped coffee? Whip the coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, we got through it. I'm sorry. I recently learned the Canadian $20 bill has the Queen of England on it. It's kind of weird, right? She's not Canadian. You figure that would be like a requirement, right? That's like if Nelson Mandela was on like the US $20 bill, right? But that'd be kind of confusing. People would be like, who is that, Obama? Imagine if Obama was on the Canadian $20 bill. People would look at that and be like, who is that, Justin Trudeau? I don't know. I also think it's kind of weird. I don't think if you're alive, you should be able to be put on currency. Does that make sense? Because the Queen can totally just like fuck up any day. You know that? It's kind of like someone who put Michael Jackson on a kid's playground in the 90s. At the time, they're like, this is cool. And then 20 years later, they're like, ooh. We didn't know he was going to do that, right? Like the Queen tomorrow could wake up, have a speech, and just be like, I hate Chinese people. And that would be so awkward. Like, can you imagine you go to like Chinese restaurant to get takeout, and they're like, all right, your total's going to be $20. You're like, You have an ATM or a demo? Hey, that's all I have for yes, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Woo!
Aidan!
Yeah.
Can I get a smaller microphone? I'm not experienced enough to fit this all in. I'll do what I can for you, though.
I'm sorry, big dicks only.
Gotta find a different club to join. I think the K-pop club has some ones that can handle them. Anyways, speaking of racism, I'm Jewish, and there are a lot of benefits to being Jewish. The funny hats, those are great. The early bedtimes, those are great. It really comes in handy when you're flirting, right? It's a tip for all you men that are still single. If you want a Jewish girl's number, just look at her arm. I found out another benefit. This is actually true. The Israeli government, if you're Jewish, will pay for you to go to a trip to Israel. Sometimes even for a month. It is amazing. But you have to pass an interview. You have to prove that you're Jewish. And I found a loophole in this interview. I came dressed in full Jewish garb with the talit and the yarmulke and everything. And I looked the rabbi dead in the eyes and I said, Dr. Baruch Yeshiva, whatever the fuck your name is, I'm wearing a funny hat to get a free trip. Isn't that Jewish enough for you? Raise your hand if you're paraplegic. Dang, we had a good turnout. Okay. Anyways, I love family movie night. You know, I found this company that makes I found this company that makes movies. Their logo, mascot, whatever, is this it's this white girl on a couch with these black figures behind her. My uncle tells me that they call it the casting couch because of the way it casts shadows. That's what the things are there. It's okay to watch because she's alone, just like I am. Please help. Please. You know, conspiracy theories are always so intense. Like, I don't care if Russia stole the election or the moon is fake or the earth is flat. I want lighter conspiracy theories. Like, how do the Oompa Loompas climb the tree so fast? Or what are the damn French hiding under those berets? A smaller hat? A smaller French, an Oompa Loompa? No. They have to be hiding something. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I would like to leave you all with a love poem. I got Tinder only to match with the joke profiles, and I matched with Pear. Pear, pear in a basket. I have a query, I need to ask it. I have a theory of its dimensions that they were formed of ill intentions. For not in a duffel bag will they fit. Oh pear, this ain't it. It's thin at the top and thick on the bottom. Makes it very hard to put it where I want them. Unlike the nimble and butt-fuck friendly grape, pear oh pear, we'll give this a try on the next date. That is all. What do I do with it?
So I need some audience input here, all right? I need everyone's honest opinion. Nobody should feel shamed. This is a safe space. I love you all. All right, how many of y'all have looked at an airplane bathroom and been like, God, if only I could have sex in there? Got 1, 2, that's more than enough. You know, with its sink and liquid soap and toilet that opens a portal to hell, what could be more romantic? And you know, it's just been on the forefront of my mind, because apparently after you have sex in an airplane bathroom, you join the Mile High Club. And like, I can't even get into Sam's Club. So I'm looking for any shoe-in. And so apparently after you join the Mile High Club, you get like a fun little punch card, and every time you have sex in a plane, you get a punch. And after you get 10 punches, you get a free drink. And I really like free things. But you might be saying, EJ, sex is hard as it is. Sex in a plane? Impossible. And I hear you. And a private company based in Vegas has heard you. That's right. Love Cloud Vegas. A plane designed for you to have sex in. Gone are these boring fucking plane things like seat belts and parachutes. No! Instead, the plane is filled with pillows that other people have had sex on and lube where the jet fuel should be.
so of course, like any plane, you need to get checked for TSA, but it's private TSA. So this time when you're getting a full body inspection and they feel something in your ass, they just slap you on the shoulder and tell you to get in there. You lovable scamp. So you're on the plane, you checking things out, overly red and pink, as is the sex. And you look up, there's that center console up there. It has standard light switch, call the steward, and then it has an extra lever. You can tell the captain when you're done. So you'll get fun little situations like this. Good afternoon, this is your captain speaking. We have reached cruising altitude 32,000 feet. Holy shit, dude. All right, we will now be descending on beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for flying with us. But if you don't suck at foreplay, they apparently offer a 3-course meal, which, knowing airplane food, is just like 42 bags of Ritz crackers and a 2-liter of Sprite. And being a flight, you of course can buy like really overpriced accommodations. What does the steward in a thong have to offer me? A $10 Gatorade, $15 condoms, and for the price of a pretty please and $20, he'll pinch your nipples. Now, how long? Depends on how many pretties are in front of that please. You're fun. And so, you're up in the air, you're having a good time, but everything has to end. All fun times have to end. Of course, you've enjoyed your 60 minutes of fun. You've gotten your $1,000 worth. Did I mention it was $1,000 to go up in this fucking lube jet? The lube jet is the name of my dildo. Do with that what you will. So, you're descending. And if you're anything like me, it's time to knock some things off your bucket list. That's right, you're in 0G, there are no fucking seatbelts, let's try some shit. Firstly, if I come up here, what happens to it? Does it just fly around? Will it land in my mouth? I hope not. Secondly, can I even get erect in the first place? They can't get erect in space. Can I get erect while I'm still under the atmosphere but in free fall? This is what science is for. Thirdly, will the steward's cock stop rising as he eye fucks my fiance? No, it won't. So you land, you get off the plane, my fiance and the steward are exchanging numbers. But that's where the Love Cloud Vegas team come in, and they got your back, and they hand you your Mile High Club card. 9 punches away to your next free drink. Thank you very much.
I get 5 minutes, right? Yep. All right, cool. I'll finish within 5 minutes. Moving on?
What would we like to hear?
All right. Anyway, I'm Rohith. I'm a junior, and this is the first time I've spoken in front of a group of people that weren't judging me or grading me. I mean, unless you are. I'll see if I show up at the next performance or not. Yeah. See that clipboard there? Yeah. So anyway, speaking of which, I was in an interview recently, and sometimes when you hang out with people too much, like you associate like their terminology and their words with other things. Like when you hear like drive and power, you think of Dwayne Johnson, and when you hear elitist, you think of aeronautical engineers. So my friends are really immature, right? So the interviewer asked me, what position are you applying for? And I had to not smile. I had to think for a few seconds, and without a smile, I had to say, an entry-level position. So yeah. And getting a job or an internship at all in my field is super hard. Computer engineering, which probably is hell. Not expect that, yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm practically illiterate, so, lawyer, doctor, there are no goes. So, try not to disappoint my parents. But yeah, all of us in the ECE department, we're all idiots. Like, there's a reason why we all need therapy, just so you know. But yeah, no, so for example, one of my good friends, he's actually a mechanical engineer. And he decided to take an ECE course. And we all have like this good idea where none of us will get more than a 40 or 50 on an exam. And this dude, he just strolls in, sits down, gets a 99 on the exam, and just walks out like a Chad, like nobody told him about our plan. Bro, no, the curve, what are you doing? And then so, he passed all those classes. We didn't. But also, same dude, sitting next to me on the final exam, how when you're in an exam and the smart dude is like, shit. And you're just like, oh fuck, I have no idea what I'm doing. He doesn't know what he's doing, then I'm fucked. But we were sitting next to each other taking the exam, and he was struggling, and I wasn't doing the exam. I was literally just twiddling my thumbs. I was like, okay, 2 hours. I don't got anything better to do. Yeah. So a guy across the room, he actually gets caught cheating. This guy, he has the audacity to mutter under his breath. He's like, you know what? I don't even blame him. Yeah. So after that exam, also, you're just like, yeah, I got a 70 on that exam. And I was like, oh shit, I got a 72. Wait, shit, out of 200. All right. But yeah, basically, the reason why the line to CAPS is so long is because of all the ECE students, right? I'm gonna spoil the new Spider-Man movie. Have you guys all watched it? No. All right, no. Well, I was definitely gonna do that. Part of the prop, right? But yeah, so over winter break, after I watched that movie, I was kind of noticing that I had this really bad premonition that bad things were gonna happen, and then bad things did happen, and I was like, oh man, maybe I got bit by a spider. I'm from near New York City, right? It's possible. It's am I getting a spidey sense? And then, first week of school, I show up to CAPS, and they're like, yeah, bro, that's just anxiety. All right, thank you for having me.
Why is this hard? There we go. We got a stool now. PSUCC is moving up in the world. How do I use this? Okay, y'all, I need your help. Do you guys want to see Steve Jobs' presentation? Or do y'all want the Kurt Cobain?
Kurt Cobain!
Yeah, I like Kurt Cobain. A, accentuates the gut. B, Kurt Cobain and I, we have a lot in common. We both play guitar. We both hate Guns N' Roses. And we both killed ourselves at the age of 30. Charlie really likes that shit. I've recently developed a habit of when I find a stupid person, I get so excited. It's like Christmas, I can make him say funny things and then tell about those funny things to a room of people like a bad person. So in order to find more stupid people, I've been trying to go to those places, been hanging around the young college Republicans a lot. They do this thing that I think is really amazing. They've started this chant where they go, "Let's go Brandon," at sporting events and so on. And I was so confused. What does "Let's go Brandon" mean? So I pulled one of them over, and I'm in my disguise voice, so I fit in. I'm hey brother, what is this? What's this "Let's go Brandon" business? And he starts speaking. Fuck Joe Biden. Like he was telling me a secret or something. I thought that was amazing, because if you ask anyone on the left what they think of Joe Biden, like Nico, what do you think of Joe Biden?
Fuck him!
Fuck Joe, it's so easy! Why are they using a euphemism? Can you imagine how powerful conservatives would be if they didn't use euphemism? Wait, that's called dog whistling. No, let's not imagine that world. I've been thinking about this lower standard that conservatives have for themselves. Because, when Donald Trump was running, it's not like he was trying very hard. He was just like, Nancy Pelosi has a stinky pussy, and he went up 20% in the polls. It was amazing. He didn't have to try hard. I don't think he was ever hard. And it just made me realize being a conservative is like playing life on easy mode. And if easy mode is too hard for you, you can also be a white man while you're doing it. Can you think about all the mediocre conservative white men? Look at our university president, dude. He looks like he's made of tofu. Have you ever seen Mitch Daniels smile? This dude smiles like Jeffrey Epstein at a ballet recital. He really does. He's got like, his like lower teeth are covered by his lip, like a predator. But like, he's too small and unintimidating to be a predator, so like, you just want to get a restraining order? I don't like Mitch, man. I don't like most of these conservatives, but you know, back to the easy mode thing, I've decided if this liberal arts major at an engineering school thing somehow doesn't work out for me, I've got a backup plan. I can move to Kentucky, do a bunch of lean, and in like 2 weeks I'll be a member of Congress. It's not hard, y'all. You just gotta pick a topic and just start saying moronic shit about it. Like abortion, or critical race theory, or if I'm doing it, I'm gonna talk about masculinity. Have you seen the insane shit conservatives are saying about masculinity, dude? Like, they're so insecure about their masculinity that when they put sneakers on the green M&M, they get a stiffy. And they're afraid of that. So Tucker Carlson goes on and they're saying, oh, they're feminizing the M&Ms. It's like, they don't have tits in the first place. How are they going to get more feminine? Is it going to be like M and me and my friends would like to order the gin and tonic? That joke makes no sense. I don't know. All these mediocre white men. And the thing is, when I say mediocre white man, I say not to their standards of masculinity, right? I don't care what you are. If you're a man, I think it's wonderful. But if Tucker Carlson is here, he's going to look at me and he's going to see that I have like tits and bad knees and that I like listening to music written by women. And he's going to say, wow, you're the ideal leftist who's been feminized by critical race theory and fucking edamame in the Subway sandwiches. And to that I say, yeah, but I don't need Viagra, Tucker. All right, I'm getting flashed.
All right. So excited to be doing comedy here in this weird classroom. This isn't even the worst show I've done this week. On Thursday night, I opened up for a heavy metal band at a place. Halfway through, this guy says, "Get off the stage, you're gay." And then they paid me in one free Busch Light ticket. That's completely true. I happened 2 days ago. But I'm really excited to be back in Indiana. I just went to go visit like my dad for Christmas break or whatever, and something about my dad is he hates trying new things. Like, I took him out to a brewery for his birthday. He asked the bartender, "What do you have that tastes most like Coors Light?" And he got 6 of those and complained for the rest of the night, saying he could have got these for $5 at the 7-Eleven. He's so cheap, he really is so cheap. His fridge is stocked to the brim with every single Taco Bell fire sauce packet he's gotten since he bought the house in '98. Hotels too. He loves those things. He loves the little freebies. This guy hasn't bought shampoo, conditioner, or bed sheets in 30 years. I was hanging out at my dad's house. He sent me out to the fridge in the garage in the fridge to get some beers. I started bringing them back in. I'm reading the side of can. It says probably brewed in 2007. Pushed him over to the side. I wasn't going to say anything, not my house. And he starts getting upset at me, like, "Oh, think you're better than us ever since you moved out west. Think ever since you moved out west, you're better than us. You want to drink the Coors Light." My dad lives in upstate New York. The Statue of Liberty, which is the most New York thing in New York, is further from my dad's house than Indianapolis. As I get older, though, I do realize I'm getting more and more like him. I just learned the other day that you're not legally required to Sharpie your name and address out of every piece of junk mail that you get. Throw that away. I don't like anything anymore. My dad doesn't like anything. I'll take that back. He likes minor league baseball and online solitaire. What else? Whenever I go to his house, it's just 3 days of me fixing his computer. Why is he so bad at using the computer? I know it's not a generational thing, because some of my friends' dads are software engineers, IT guys, whatever. The other thing he knows how to do is like my high school girlfriend's selfies. Read his hometown's e-newspaper to figure out which of his family members got arrested this month. Also, I needed some help. I needed him to email me something, and he printed it like he had no idea what I was talking about. Why does he only know how to use the email when he's forwarding me my student loan bills every single month? Made a lot of bad choices recently with money. Really caught up to me when I saw that my paycheck was getting garnished every single week by DraftKings. I love sports betting so much. Today I was watching preseason darts. On the drive here. I like sports betting, but I'm not very good at it. What I am good at is spending the money that I expect to win before it even comes. I was so sure that the Jets were going to win the AFC this year that I bought a new car. Well, something people don't tell you about buying a new used car, though, is that you can't spend every single penny you have on the car because you need to have some money to, fix it up, make it safe. I have a shiny BMW out there in the parking lot with 4 used tires, all different brands. My boss, I'm in grad school. My boss is really, strict, uptight guy. Makes you call him by his Dr. Johnson. You can't call him by his first name. And it's really weird sometimes, but I needed to say his first name the other day because there happens to be 2 fat white Dr. Johnsons in my building, right? So this lady asked me, and I'm looking around, looking over my shoulders, make sure the coast is clear. I whisper his name. Saying my boss's first name is like singing the N-word in your favorite song. Like, it's not illegal, but you're gonna lose your job. Alright guys, that's all I got for you tonight. Thanks so much for listening.
What's going on, guys? Y'all have a good break? Yeah? I went home for break. My mom got on my case about cigarettes again. I told her I didn't want any, but she just called me a boring loser and moved on. I know. I'm back now, though, but it's not better. If you've seen me perform before, then you know that my roommate really likes having sex while I'm in the room, while he thinks I'm asleep. The problem is I'm never asleep. At first he was really into it, right? He'd be making all kinds of noise, and the bed would be shaking a lot, and they'd be switching positions every 30 seconds. But now he's just not as into it anymore. And I don't know what it is. It's only ever cowgirl now, so he doesn't have to do any work. I think last night I heard him yawn. He's taken to faking his orgasms. And if you're good at faking, it's really hard to tell. But if you're my roommate, you sound like a robot with a dying battery. It feels so good. I'm coming. Like, at that point, why even have sex? I feel like it's an insult to take something so great and ruin it like that. I feel like every time somebody fakes an orgasm, Hugh Hefner rolls over in his grave. Unless the person faking is a woman, then he doesn't care. I saw this headline the other day. Authorities in Pennsylvania are hunting for escaped lab monkeys after a truck carrying 100 of them crashed. Really? I feel like the writer of the simulation is getting lazy, because this sounds like a bad side quest from an awful early 2000s video game. Hello, stranger. I need somebody to help me collect my 100 monkeys before they infect the local town. How does $25 sound? I love cool cars. I think expensive cars are cool. I drive a shitty Honda, though. Probably a good thing, because I'd be a real menace on the road if I could go any faster than about 55. So I like browsing car auction sites, though. I like looking at the comments. Some of the comments are real weird. They look like they'd be perfectly at home under a porn video. It'd be like, wow, my whole family could fit inside that. Oh, that one's had some modifications done. That is a huge trunk on such a small body. I love the build, not a huge fan of black. Don't be mad at me for that one. That's the commenters. It's not me. I'll have you know I love black cars. I saw this headline the other day. The Pope criticizes parents, or not couples, who choose pets over kids. Says they're selfish. Said something about declining birth rates and the future of humanity. And he might be on the right track, right? Maybe there's something to his argument, but I don't buy his reasoning. I think if we reword the headline a little bit, listen to this. Leader of an organization known for molesting children encourages people to have more children. What's up with that? Thank you guys. You've been great.
Hi everyone. So I actually don't have a set prepared for today. Unlike Sarah, who last semester used to say she doesn't have a set prepared, and then she had like a proper set prepared, and she make us look like chumps. But no, I actually don't have a set prepared today. So I was just thinking we could do like 5 minutes of like proper crowd work. Yeah. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have a friend recording that, so everyone's okay with like me uploading it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like asking you guys before I fuck you on camera. Like, sounds familiar, right? I mean, Charlie does the same thing, except he doesn't ask for consent. Anyone in the audience who's engaged? No? Oh, smart people, okay. Anyone in the audience who's currently in like a relationship, like a serious relationship? Nice. Okay, awesome. So how long have you guys been dating? What's not long? A week? A week? That's just like you just got here for the beginning of the semester and you're like, are you? No, I'm not, you know, like. Although, you know, relationships actually contribute a lot to science. Like, you know, like scientists have been like worrying for like years and years as to like what infinity is. And then I heard my friend, like, you know, when she started dating, she was like, oh my God, babe, I'm gonna love you for infinity. Guys, infinity is 3 months. Set in stone, right? Okay, who else? You said you're dating? How long have you been dating?
Almost 4 years with her.
4 years?
Almost.
Whoa! Can we have a round of applause for that? Kind of personal, but ever thought of getting married? You have? Nice. So is it like a love marriage or arrangement? I'm just kidding. How many of you in the audience know what an arranged marriage is?
Woo!
Awesome, okay. It's not exactly what, like, you know, what it's thought to be, but you know, I really think like a lot of people like just hate on arranged marriages unnecessarily. Like, let me tell you the perks, right? But before that, what arranged marriages is basically your parents set you up with someone, right? Except like you can't really reject them or say yes, but let me tell you the perks though. So, you said you've been dating a week, right? What's your name again? Okay. Yeah, so you said you've been dating a week. Be honest here, right? Have you ever like woken up wondering, oh my God, like what if she stops loving me one day? No! Serious question. Right? No, I mean, see, that's one of the perks of arranged marriages, right? Like, you don't have to worry about that shit. Because like, yeah, you've got like parents and the whole society involved. Like if she stops loving you, she's not going anywhere. Okay, no, I'm not kidding, right? Like I know a couple, right? Yeah, okay. I still got a minute. That's more than enough for me to finish. But I know this couple, right? Where you know, like they were gonna get an arranged marriage, and like you know, like the marriage was set and all that, and a week later, like so. When you get, like, you know, like when your marriage gets arranged, you have no idea who the other person is. But then they got to know each other for a week, and then she went and told her mom, you know, like, I don't want to marry him anymore. He's not a good guy. And the mom was just like, but we already said yes. you gotta go through with it, you know? But yeah. So, how much time do we have left?
Like 10 seconds.
Okay, then I guess we'll just wrap it up here. Thank you guys.
I just want to say it's wonderful to be here, and it's wonderful to have your support as I'm raw dying it without this thing. I'm being real brave tonight. So I'm going to tell you a wonderful story. A story about me and my dad going to Greece and to visit my great aunt. And she lives in downtown Athens. Now usually she could drive her little dicky little car down to the airport, pick us up, and then my dad could drive the rest of the way. But we decide, nah, we'll let my great aunt stay in. We'll get a taxi. But Lord have mercy, for this vehicle was not a savior taxi ferrying me and to my great aunt's house to eat fish sticks dipped in mayo. Yes, that's real. That actually happened. But rather a hell chariot with a trickster god Loki as its driver. And we're on a one-way ticket to misfortune. So we get in the taxi, we pay, and we say hello, we get in, and we give him the address, and he punches it into his Google Maps. And this guy, he looks a little bit of a bootleg Dan Bilzerian. You know that influencer with like the haircut, chiseled chin? Looks pretty much the same, except with a little bit more dirt. Now we start going, and my dad has done this many times. He's gone to this apartment many times. You know how there's always a highway running right through the airport at every single airport? You're supposed to stay on the highway and go straight down to downtown Athens. This guy gets off the highway first chance he gets, and his Google Maps is screaming at him like, "There are no room, you fucking bum." And all the while, some Greek song is playing on the stereo. For all I know, it could be this crappy SoundCloud. So then my dad's like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" He's like, "No, it's fine." So we start going down all these main roads, right? And then we start going down all these side roads and alleyways for a while. And I'm starting to get concerned as a little 14-year-old boy in the back of a stranger's vehicle in a foreign country. So then, after like 15 minutes of this tomfoolery, we pull up to a cafe and we stop. The guy gets out and offers to get me a Diet Coke. I refuse for obvious reasons. And so then after that, we run to the cafe, and my dad is not having a good time. He's having a little bit of a Final Destination vision of us getting our livers taken out. And all the while I'm like, damn, I did not expect this today. I did not expect that this would be the high point of my existence. But here we are. So then he's just, like I just was imagining that maybe this was some sort of Greek version of like a taxi cam show with a mix of Gordon Ramsay. Come on, man! I've got two passengers in the back. They're running up the meter. I have to teach you how to make some euros. Actually, wait, no. The meter running means I get more money. Take your time, actually. So anyway, after a while, the guy runs out, and the owner of the cafe is running after him, and they're arguing in Greek. Now, at this point, I have been teaching myself some Greek at 3 Rosetta Stone. And I don't know a lot, I'm not that good, but I can recognize a few important words, like astinomia and pendekosia everol, which respectively mean police and 500 euros. So at that point, I'm like, oh. So then, so then, eventually, after they stop arguing, the owner goes back in, and the guy gets back in the car, and he explains that he left his wallet at the cafe, and he accused the owner of stealing 500 euros, and the reason why he couldn't go on the highway was because he didn't have his money to pay the tolls. And the best part was at the end of the whole ordeal, when we finally got to my aunt's flat, he asked for a tip. And my dad said in broken Greek, "Do you think you deserve a tip?" And he says, "Entertainment?" And from that point on, I used to tune out everything when I was in the car just with my little earbuds. Now, I stop, look, and listen, because you never know when you're going to have a story to tell.